So a lot of us in the writing world are writing novels. We've written one or more long novels and gotten those published, or some of us, like myself, are still on the journey to publishing, which is great. But how can short fiction, like short stories and such, how can that help boost your writing, even for your novels? I'd say I'm doing a video here, and today's topic is short fiction. So I'm going to talk about my experiences with short fiction and what I hope to do with that, and hopefully how it can help you too. Yeah, so I've written some short stories before. Um, not like a lot recently. My main work in progress has been my novel, and I've spent most of my energy into that. I have short stories from years ago, like high school and college, and that I've written, and one or two of them might be decent if I dug them up and try to edit it and things like that. But I kind of real I kind of well okay, I'm talking in circles or whatever. I kind of made a realization. I've been trying to publish my novel, trying to do that, and I'm still submitting to agents and publishers, and I've submitted to a bunch more in the past few weeks. So I'm hoping to hear something soon. Maybe some good. Yeah, hoping to hear some responses. Maybe some good responses. But a lot of people don't have the clout to publish a big novel until they have some successful short fiction first. Look at, I didn't think of too many specific examples, but a lot of famous novelists, both classically, like the literature you read in English class. A lot of people started writing short fiction first for serial newspapers and such back when that was a thing, and even today. Um, I'm sure there are exceptions, but some of the big names we know didn't start with a single novel, especially a long novel. A lot of them started with smaller things and built their way up. I was looking up, and don't quote me on this because I don't have all the facts, but like I compare myself. Just when I'm talking about the audience for long sci-fi, which my book is kind of long, I cut it down a lot from where it was. It's still a little on the long side. It's like 130,000 words, and I know some agents and publishers have taken issue with that. Like it's too long for a debut novel, maybe. Um, I looked at people like Stephen King and Brandon Sanderson because obviously they write big novels in the sci-fi fantasy genre ish. But do they start out that way? Usually the answer is no. I'm pretty sure Brandon Sanderson has written had some short stuff, or at least some maybe small writing opportunities before he got really big. Stephen King, I actually read his book on writing earlier this year, which was, it wasn't just about the craft of writing. There was some memoir, biography stuff too. I don't remember him talking about short fiction specifically, but he did talk about how he had to take smaller steps before he got his big break, and early on in his career he was still teaching English classes and stuff like that while trying to be a writer. Obviously he's not doing that now because he's gotten big, but I realized, for someone, I am someone who has never published before. Small things like blogs, yes. I used to write nonfiction articles for a few small online publications. That happens. But like as far as a story or a book, beyond just my own self-publishing, I've never published before. I've talked about it a lot, thought about it a lot. Only recently have I begun to do things toward that end and try to get it out there. So I realized, yeah, I'm still gonna try selling my novel and publishing my novel because that's where I'm at, and I've gotten it to a good place where I think I can do that. But a lot of places, a lot of people don't get their start that way, and a lot of people just have other things too, have started with short fiction or some other writing opportunities that has that has kind of built their name up there. And then once people see that you've been published, once maybe if you submit a short story to a magazine or something like that, I'm not sure yet. Um, then you can say, hey, I've been published here and here, and that might give you a little bit more clout when you're submitting to publishers. Does that work? In theory, yes. I haven't tried it yet, so I'm on the journey myself at the beginning of this journey. So I can't tell you for sure. I know it's worked for some people, for some others out there, and maybe more than some, maybe a lot. So yeah. So question: have I been writing short fiction lately? The answer is yes. I did a post a few months ago about the multiverse and just how that's been a big trend and a big theme in a lot of our shows and movies lately. And I wrote. I mean, I'm not sure if this one's going to get published. I mean, I might try because it's kind of niche. It's kind of personal to me, and I started writing it around my birthday when I was just thinking, kind of reflecting on life and stuff like that. But it was a story about me meeting different multiverse versions of myself and what would happen in that that scenario. So again, I mean I mean I don't mind sharing it. I just mean it's personal to my life, and so like someone who doesn't know me very well may or may not be interested in reading it. I don't know. Or it could be like a cool human interest piece where I submit it, and people are like, "Oh, deep multiverse story, maybe." So anyway, I wrote that. It was still not super short. It was like 10,000 words. I mean, obviously, too too short for a novel. By some people's standards, too long for for a short story. But maybe if I polish it up and cut it down a little bit, I might submit it to some places. And I just wrote another one too. I haven't told anyone about this yet. I haven't even read it to my writers group. Actually, my writers group is meeting online tonight, and I'm hoping to read it then. And it's a story idea I had for a while. This one actually is not sci-fi or anything. It's just it's about a guy in college, and loosely based on my own experiences. But it was an idea I had for a while. It's something I wanted to turn into a fictional story, but largely based on my own experiences about people who argue on the internet like I do, or I have before, trying to get better about it, but and then like meeting someone in real life and realizing, oh well, it's just a guy, like it just, you know, that person's human too. So that's kind of a short story I've written recently. I might, once I polish it a little bit, I might release it for some people to read it. Again, I haven't even read it to my writers group yet. They're meeting tonight, so I hope to share it with them there. But that's a shorter one. I was originally even shooting for flash fiction range. Flash fiction is a very short kind of fiction. It's like, I mean, depending on who you ask, like 750 to 1,200 words is what I've heard. That just like kind of one scene or whatever that captures one idea or moment. So I was originally meaning this story to be maybe flash fiction range. If you know me, I'm not good at writing short, so it's still pretty short, but not short enough for flash fiction. It ended up being like 2,000 words or 2,300 or something like that. It's like 5 pages in Microsoft Word. So it's still a short story, not short enough for flash fiction, but I think I have something decent here, is what I'm saying. And once I show it to a few people and polish it up, I might try to submit it to some magazines and stuff. So I'm not going to stop submitting my novel because I want to do that. I'm just trying to maybe diversify or add some more things in there too. And if I can publish a short story or two, possibly, then maybe I'll have more clout to have bigger opportunities in the future. So that's what I want to say today. Add to that, if anyone out there listening, if you know a good place looking for short stories, or if you even have a press or a company or whatever that's looking for short stories, and either of the ones I just described to you sounds like up your alley, let me know, because I will, you know, I'm going to be looking for places to submit short fiction also. Again, I'm going to try not to, you know, going to try not to slow down too much with my longer fiction, but I still want to submit some short fiction too and see how that goes. So yeah, and so my advice to you, writers, diversify your interests. I mean, obviously, some of you are already in the novel writing game, and you've written like, you know, several novels and published them, which is great. If you're on a journey like me and you haven't yet found the success you're looking for, I'd say, I'm saying this to myself too, start small. You know, start small. Write a short story or two. Right, you know, prove that you can write something. Prove that you can write well and write something good in a short amount of time without making people read, you know, a whole novel, over 100,000 words. A short story can be a good way to show your either publishers or a potential audience, like, hey, I can write well, and you didn't have to read a whole novel to read it to find out, but now do you want to read a whole novel of mine? That's kind of the idea. So my encouragement to you and myself this week: write your short fiction, work on that, submit it to some places. Now I'm repeating myself, so I'm just going to sign off because I wanted to keep this video short as well. So thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. Keep writing, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.